The village healer was a witch or a wizard, a doctor or herbalist. The word pharmakia that has been found in the Bible, at least in 2 different instances, is herbal medicine. This is where we get the word pharmacology, pharmaceutical, and pharmacy. Pharmakia consists of several different branches of herbal medicine, ranging from healing the body through herbs, poisoning the body to heal the body using herbs, all the way to the extreme of killing the body using herbs. And that form is called Pharmakon, which is nowadays mess with dark magic, is the sadistic portion of magic altogether. There's really no such thing as light and dark. It is all consciousness. You have people that are here to do good, and you have people that choose to do bad. And it doesn't matter what title they may go under, you're going to have good and bad. They're just people. If you knew what was going on in the Holy of Holies on the most holiest day, called the Day of Atonement, and you investigate, there's a plethora of information from accounts of people that worked in the temple regarding a lot of the weird stuff they would do in the temple, dealing with animal sacrifice. And so many witches, they don't do that. But I guess a high priest shedding the blood of an innocent animal is holier than a witch that is healing someone covered in the blood. The Bible is not against all forms of witchcraft. Those types of witchcraft that you're referring to are types of witchcraft that require a child sacrifice or either poisoning someone. That scripture that you're referring to in the book of Galatians is Pharmakia, and that consists of several different forms of herbal and medical sorcery. This is where we get pharmacies from, pharmaceuticals, like the traditional mass pharmaceutical branch, all the way to herbal remedies, even to herbal poisoning. This is where we get Pharmakon from. So she's not a false teacher. Most people are being taught wrong. So therefore, they're triggered when they hear someone speaking truth because they're not used to hearing truth. Sir or ma'am, you are correct. Plants were used for healing. This form of herbal sorcery and medicine was used in both the New and Old Testament. However, in the New Testament, it is mentioned both in Galatians and as well in Revelations. This included a practice in the Old Testament known as Pharmakon. And Pharmakon was a practice that the high priest would use during Yom Kippur. They would drug the scapegoat, because it also means scapegoat. So it's a practice of scapegoating, where they would put all the sins onto the scapegoat and drug the scapegoat so that the scapegoat would go into a trance and they would fall over the cliff, pretty much sacrifice themselves. The Greek culture, once a year, they would drug either the outcasts, prisoners. They would use this practice of herbal medicine as a poison to poison the sacrifice. And they would either force them to fight, or either they would sacrifice them in different ways, sometimes even sending them off into the desert. And that was a form of their sacrifice. This is the same thing that they would do in the Old Testament. And they probably still had that practice even in the New Testament. However, there's no, that I have researched as of yet, there's no evidence of that. Witchcraft, so witch, first of all, is wisdom. Is someone that is wise, and the craft is the art. So the high priests, they were wizards. They used their wisdom to help heal people. Before the church came along, I have a short video about this, that the wizards and the witches would live on the outskirts of town, and they would grow their own herbs, and they would make all these tinctures, and they were very wise, and they would use this form of sorcery as far as like for healing modalities to heal people. But another form of this is healing through poisoning, such as like using wormwood, which doesn't necessarily poison in a small dose, but it will help to kill the parasites. So this is an actual form, and they really did use it.